I'm on my way to Abbey Road to fulfill a lifelong dream of going to studio number 2. So I'm going to get off at St. John's Wood. It's a beautiful neighborhood, especially in the fall. St. John's Wood is absolutely gorgeous. They usually don't let people go into Abbey Road unless you're paying quite a lot of money to record there, but this is the 90th anniversary of Abbey Road Studios. Today, I am going to enter Abbey Road Studios and go into Studio 2. Doors open. This is how I got in. And here I am. It's quite overwhelming because right before me, I know exactly what I'm looking at. There's a TG board. There are 2 TG boards at Abbey Road, and they were used for the recording of Abbey Road and Dark Side of the Moon. And there's software that replicates this, and I'm looking at the real thing. This is the other desk. They're beautiful looking boards. This is the Red 17 board. You see it in the old films of the Beatles recording their early stuff. And behind me, the RS-124s, the modified Altex by EMI. And now Waves has a plug-in out for that. And of course, Fairchilds. I can't get enough of the Fairchild 660. And the RS-127. I've got the software for all of this, but here's the real deal. Interesting how it's sort of like put together. Can't get enough of Fairchilds. This one is obviously used to make a stereo pair instead of the 670. There's another EQ box. Fairchilds, Fairchilds, Fairchilds. I love the 660. Here it is, the J37. This is what the Beatles recorded almost all their music on. 4-track, took 2 of these to make Sgt. Pepper. And this is number 1. J37 number 1. You can see it in the films, and I'm right in front of it right now, and it's pretty amazing to be right there next to it. Not even a rope in my way. And I love the little details in this. There's the speeds, 7.5, 15, and the counter. And then you've got the really kind of famous play button with the music notes. This is the BTR 3, the British Tape Recorder 3, and the first 2 albums, Please Please Me and With the Beatles, were recorded on it. And I just can't believe I'm in their presence. So I have to have my picture taken with them like they're celebrities, because they kind of are to me. This is amazing. Look at the size of this. This can split the studio in half. Look how tall this is. You really get a sense of it when you're there, how tall they are. And they're on wheels, but it's still, to get them across, it's pretty amazing. Look at this organ, the RT3 organ, and McCartney's playing it there, and this is it. I'm standing right there, and I can look at all the little controls. Turning on and off the Leslie, the chorale setting. And it was used on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon as well, and every single Beatle played this, as well as Billy Preston and George Martin. And it was on a lot of Beatle albums. Here are the pianos that the Beatles used. And this is actually the corner of the studio where the Beatles actually set up. But now you've got the pianos here. The Mrs. Mills piano, the Challen piano. Here's the Mrs. Mills piano, and they've got pictures on top. The tape is there because they had people come up and play the chords on the pianos to the end of A Day in the Life, that final chord. And so they just put the tape there so people would know what notes to play when they did that final chord, Volunteers. Unfortunately, I wasn't picked. There's Mrs. Mills herself. There's George and John. The Mrs. Mills piano had lacquer on the hammers, and it gave it that tack piano sound. This is what was used for Fool on the Hill. The Challen piano had an option, like a bar that kind of created that same effect. There's a Celeste. George Martin played the Celeste on the Beatles song Baby It's You. It was also used on Dark Side of the Moon. There's the Yamaha piano. These red seats. I was hoping they would throw one out so I could take one home with me, but I had to feel it. And interesting thing about it in the write-up that they had for these seats was that they were designed to prevent any noise, any squeaking. So they're rather firm, and I actually felt it. And I can tell you, yeah, they're kind of firm. You can see that right there. Here's a stack of them. They're not really using them anymore because there probably aren't that many left. I was hoping I could take one home on the plane with me, but not to be. Put one in my studio. I would pay some good money for that. There it is again, feeling it. And you can see it's not that soft. It's red leather. And any one of these chairs, as the sign says, could be one of the chairs that McCartney used when he sang Yesterday, or John Lennon used when he sang A Day in the Life. This is the echo chamber. This was really cool. There's a speaker, bounces around here. These are sewage pipes. And then there are microphones at the other end. There's the inputs. They were actually playing music, Kate Bush, while I was in there. And then the two microphones, stereo left and right, to pick up the sound bouncing around the room. This was actually a bomb shelter before they decided to use it for an echo chamber. But John Lennon's voice went in this for A Day in the Life, and then some delay, and voila, you have that special sound. And it leads right into Studio 2. This is the one end where the Beatles actually spent most of the time playing, this corner here on the right-hand side. And there are the steps. So here's what it looks like going up the steps to the control room of Studio 2 and Abbey Road. And you have to take a look at the vantage point once you get to the top of this, because it's really cool to look down. And this is the view that you have. A lot of pictures are taken from this vantage point. So that left-hand corner over there, that's where the Beatles, where the pianos are, that's where the Beatles set up to record most of the time. And the presentation that was given was absolutely fantastic. It's a 90-minute presentation. It was presented by the guys who wrote Recording the Beatles. And it's an amazing book. And this is a 60-channel board. That's what's up there now in Abbey Road, a 60-channel board. And so I had to have my picture taken next to the board. Look at this. The original EMI, they had software of this. EQs and compressors. They have an Avalon 737 SP there. Some Pultecs. They had a Manley compressor, looks like two 1176s, and LA2A at the bottom. And another, of course, Fairchild 660 and a distressor. And it's not the EL8X, it's the EL8. I was surprised they just had the simple one. And 2 AMSs and the RMX16, which I've got software of and sounds fantastic. Here's the patch bay. And here is a 1/4-inch tape deck. I wasn't allowed to film in here. And so here's the couch that you would sit on in the studio. There it is in relation to the board. To the left is the window that you could see the whole studio from, but you don't really need to do that anymore because now they have monitors. And here again is the vantage point from the top of the stairs. Let's go downstairs. This was a thrill. And there I am, had to take a shot of me on the stairs. And there it is. Those are the stairs leading up to the control room. These seats are here for the presentation. And they had mics on display. So there's a U47, the U48, the AKG D19C, and there's the D20, and they also had the Chandler Limited new mics, the Red 47 mic and the TG mic that Chandler makes now. And then, of course, even though I've done it before, you've got to get your opportunity to go across Abbey Road. And it was an amazing experience. If it ever comes up again in the next couple of years, I'm going to go again.
Hey!